For the last 8 months, we have been working on this 1973 Airstream to transform it into our new tiny house on wheels, which will be our full-time home. This phase of our restoration we call Restorador. Megan made me say that, and we're restoring this door. I don't expect that it's going to go easy because nothing that we've done so far has been easy at all. We're going to be doing it with the door attached because I've heard nothing but horror stories about trying to reattach the Airstream door once it's been taken off. And I can speak from experience that anytime we've taken something off, it does not go back on easy. Let's get into it. The first phase of Operation Restorador is to remove the aluminum door panels, to which we discovered several unexpected guests.
There you go. Ready? On.
Ew, nice. That's where the ants are coming from. Ew!
Oh.
Ah!
Oh my god. Look at all that.
Ew.
It's a lot of ants.
Ew.
Oh no. Oh, these are on me too.
I'm done. I'm done.
Alright, I guess it's just me and you and these ants.
We evicted those squatters because this is our house now and they gotta go. This is also the last of the 51-year-old insulation in our Airstream. So this is the original lock that came off the Airstream. They're pretty unique to Airstreams, especially of the vintage era, aka just really old. And basically to restore them, they're extremely expensive and extremely hard to do. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to buy a regular generic Amazon RV lock. We found this one from Latch on Amazon that was all metal, and after doing some research we found that many people have used these on their own Airstreams. They're also made in the good old US of A, and we love that. These two locks are very differently shaped, so we're going to have to figure out how to put this on. We'll also be installing a generic deadbolt for added security.
There are a few things we're doing in this video. We're going to put on a door stopper. We're going to replace the latch. We're going to install a deadbolt, which was not there before. We're going to install a gasket that should be waterproof. And the reason why we are prioritizing this right now is because we're about to wire up our electrical system and it's pretty pricey. So we want to make sure that we can lock this door.
Let's get right to work. It's time to pick a spot for the stopper and then install it. Boom! I like it.
Awesome. I love it. Super easy. I wouldn't say it's top quality $100 worth door stopper, but it is 12 bucks. It's aluminum. It'll work. We've had to cut some costs during this entire Airstream build just so we don't go over budget. It's not looking good, people.
The next step for us is to remove this piece of aluminum here. So we're gonna have to drill out all of these rivets. The hole for the original lock is definitely not the same size hole for our latch, so it's gonna require a little bit of fabrication, which is kind of cool because, you know, I haven't really fabricated much since the frame restoration part. You know, spirits are high. We got lots of caffeine coursing through our veins and more in the garage, so let's get to it. It's amazing what you can learn from a project like this. Before we started, neither of us had ever used rivets, and now we've done close to 1,000. We'll be able to use these new skills in all our future projects. This is the back piece. We're gonna have to make this fit the new lock. We're gonna have to cut this, and then we're gonna have to reattach everything together. They definitely didn't make these locks with the intention of being installed in an Airstream, and they're, I guess, pretty much a standard RV lock size. I don't know, never had a regular RV before. I'm just gonna try to take it apart and kind of just see how it lines up on the trailer. I have a feeling the screen door is gonna kind of get in the way of things, and we're gonna have to kind of just adapt and overcome as we go. We could take the screen door off. We thought about taking off the screen door, but weren't sure that it would go back on if we did. So after careful measurements, we figured out where exactly we want the lock, and now it's time to make a patch. Seconds before this, Megan almost poked my eye out with this clamp. It was my fault because I was on my phone.
Basically what we're doing is we're using the existing holes to clamp up this patch.
After getting the placement for the lock figured out, we faced our first real challenge. We don't have anything that can cut the hole perfectly. So we used just about everything imaginable that we had to cut and just tried to make it work. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Feeling good and being good are two different things, and we did not get this right there.
Okay, round 2. Are we in?
Just about. Looks like it's lining up, but I think it needs to just get widened up just in this corner.
Round 3. We got it.
Boom!
Woo!
No. Yes.
Great work.
Because this door is so thin, we decided that we had to actually put on a whole patch rather than just try to install the latch on its own. Check it out. So we have our new latch, which is on. Looks great. The lock works. And we got the new patch on. It's all riveted. Still needs a little cleanup, but looks pretty good. This is on. That's on, so that it stays real nice. And the entire inside of the door is completely caulked. Every rivet, every seam, these nuts. We're gonna have to add to the striker plate and kind of build it up here so that this can actually latch in. It was a 1/2 inch, and now it's probably like 3/8 or so, maybe a little less. And then we're gonna have to drill a new hole here, build it up, and then we'll be good. And on to the next part. How do you feel, Megan?
Amazing. I feel amazing.
Let's get right into it. We need to build up the part that the striker is gonna go into, and we're just gonna cut this little bit of aluminum, just cut the hole in this, and then secure it to the frame, and then we should be done with this part of the project.
As you can see, we did a pretty stellar job putting this patch together. I think it looks fabulous. It looks great. Can't wait for it to actually latch. You can lock the actual door. It has a deadbolt on it, and you can lock the actual latch. So right now the latch is locked. Same key for both. Now the latch can go, and this is the deadbolt. That's my demonstration.
So we've got our hole here. I added those 2 little pieces of aluminum, which adds up to 1/4 inch thick. And now you can tell that the latch latches because it's doing that thing. And I think once the striker plate is actually installed onto this, that will raise it a little bit. All right, ready? Let's give it a shot, round 2. So that lines up. Give it a latch. No, this, lock, the deadbolt.
You said latch. Give it a latch.
No. Oh my God. Awesome, so I think that works.
Awesome.
Turns out awesome was the wrong word to use, and our alignment was just slightly off to where we couldn't close the door, and after about an hour of trying, we had an idea.
We put that plate on with a little bit too much room, but thankfully I got a really beefy gasket, so we're hoping that this gasket will fill in the blanks of the empty space.
Turns out this was also the wrong move, and now we can't even get the door to close. Alright, we're giving it another shot. I had to make another piece, and if it works, we'll tell you, and if it doesn't, we'll just skip ahead to the next time when we try again.
This needs to be modified a little bit, but I think that is a good sign that we're in the right direction.
It feels so good to know that we actually have a latching, closable, lockable door. This has been something that we've been, thinking about for a long time. Wrong again, and we will continue to think about it because it was still slightly off to where the latch would not fully catch on the frame, so we had to make more adjustments. Damn, that is a chunky rivet.
That is chunky.
Finally, we got it. Look, the latch locks perfectly. We now have a really big carabiner so we don't lose the keys like we just did already. We, whatever, we're all a team here. Deadbolt works.
We have to remember the direction of the deadbolt.
Yeah, I think it'll take a few tries, but this is our system here. I ground down a little bit of the head of this because I could tell that it was hitting on the screw. So I think in time the screw will just wear down the rivet enough and there won't be a problem. And there we go. What you think, baby girl?
I'm super pumped. I'm happy.
We started off the day using 3M spray adhesive and Havelock wool to insulate the door. This is what we'll be using for the whole trailer, so we figured we'd see how it adheres on a small section first. Since our latch has an entirely different handle from the original, I had to cut a hole to make it fit. This is your sign to get a Dremel tool for your own build. Seriously, this thing's awesome and the first time I ever used one.
This was a truly painful process.
We're gonna lie to you and tell you that it went so smooth and it only took us about 10 minutes to do.
It didn't.
It took us many episodes of 10 minutes.
Finally, we're on. Kind of undid all of the cleaning we did to this panel, but you know what? It can be cleaned later. Just have to put the back part of the lock on and hopefully everything goes well. I don't see why it doesn't. But you know what? With this project, you never know what'll happen. It's what's exciting about it.
And infuriating.
All right.
It's cool watching the front just get sucked in when you twist it in the back.
Try it out.
High five, Megan. I would say if we didn't install a deadbolt, we're done. We're ready to move on. The door latches, everything works, but we do want the deadbolt because it's like our house, so you wouldn't just have a house without a deadbolt. Even though this is a deadbolt, I'm sure it's pretty secure. You can never be too safe in these days sometimes. You can put a price on safety. It's about $40 at your local Home Depot.
The issue is we can't put it in the door because there's no spot for us to actually like lock from the inside. And so it has to go on the body, but we don't have our walls up, and the one that we got isn't long enough to reach the door once we put it on. So we've had some issues to figure out, but you know what? We've had a lot of issues to figure out, and I still have an issue, which is that I have this Airstream. Still figuring it out.
It's for sale.
You can take it home.
Serious inquiries only. All right, next up we are installing this deadbolt here. This is a regular old deadbolt from Home Depot. It was like $40 again, so I think total of locks in this project comes out to about $80. So that's a way better deal than having to buy one of those replacement kits that's like $470, or a brand new refurbished one that still might inevitably break for $700 to $800. So I think we're making an okay choice. This is exactly where we want it. We have this just taped into place, and we made it kind of like another backing place because the hole was kind of janky. I definitely cut too much, but it is what it is. We need to install at least part of this wall, drill the hole, and then that way we'll have the backing. Alrighty, baby.
Damn, that alignment of that hole is just so perfect. How did you get it to line up so well?
I follow Meghan Matt. We got a lock. It's in. The back still needs to get insulation, and we're going to need to build up something to kind of have the deadbolt and the latch press against each other so there's some pressure. Because right now the aluminum is just getting sucked in. Tomorrow we'll figure that out, and we'll also drill the hole in the door, and we are actually done. So this hopefully will be a 4-day project. 5-day project? Let's focus on getting this hole drilled and then pretty much done with this door. Great to feel like another big important thing is crossed off the list. Alright, let's give it a shot.
You didn't mangle it too badly.
Yeah, just enough. That weather stripping's kind of walked.
You ready for this?
Yeah. Too far forward, too far back, what?
I don't know.
Today's the day. Yesterday showed up and found out that we can't latch the door. Tried to fix it, tried to take care of it, but it just started downpouring, so we had to pack up real quick. So today, I'm gonna just basically try to remove this latch, move it slightly forward because it's hitting too far towards the back of the frame on the door. So it's just not working. So we're gonna figure that out. I had to basically grind this down to make it fit. So it's not pretty, but it'll hold, and I might try to put the striker plate on later, but let me show you guys this thing in action. All right, so it latches real nice. Oh, so good. And now these lock too. I'm super, super pleased that this part of the project is done. This is just loosely secured with Clecos. I just needed it on to make sure that the deadbolt can actually latch into itself because I was having some problems trying to do it without, but whoo! Words of advice, just do it. Just freaking cut holes in everything, just do it. We got a new deadbolt on, we got a new lock on, and feeling really, really pleased with the progress we're making. The next thing we're gonna be working on is insulating, running wires, and installing our solar panels on the roof. Be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below. See you in the next one, guys.